Welcome to This Daring Adventure podcast, where we work on bridging the gap between where we are and where we want to be in order to live a bigger and bolder life. In this podcast, we will provide inspiration, tips, and skills you need to make your life the adventure you want it to be. Here's your host, mindset mentor, and life coach, Trista Gurton.
Hey everybody, welcome back to This Daring Adventure. This is episode 99. How cool is that? We're getting up there. So just before we start, I wanted to let you know about a couple of things that are coming up this month in my coaching business. The first thing is that this Sunday, January 12th, I'm going to be doing a 2025 Change Blueprint workshop. So if you have something you want to work on this year, this is where you want to start. It's a free workshop. The link to register will be in the bio. You must register in advance. A replay will be available, but I'm going to take you through a process that you can do so that you have a plan to go after your goal, to make the changes that you want, to really set yourself up for success. So you don't want to miss it. That's this Sunday, January 12th. It is at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And again, the link to register will be in the show notes. On January 16th at 1 p.m., this is my Get Unstuck Masterclass. This is a great introduction as to understanding why you're stuck and what you can do to get unstuck for good. This is the work that I do with my clients. I help them get unstuck for good. If you're frustrated, if you're in overwhelm, if you're doubting yourself, if you're tired of the thought loops and just spinning in one place for many months, sometimes years, this is where you want to come. You want to learn what getting unstuck looks like and what's possible for you and how I can help, because I can help. I get my clients unstuck for good. The link for this masterclass on the 16th will also be in the show notes. And finally, on the 23rd of January at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I am offering a free group coaching session and workshop. This is a great opportunity for you to get coached. Come bring any issue that you wish to get coached on, get some help, get some clarity, or you can listen to someone else get coached. It is completely free, and the link to register will also be in the show notes. There will not be a replay for that, so you have to come live if you're interested. All right. So without further ado, let's talk about today's topic, which ties in really nicely, I might add, to the workshop that we're going to do on Sunday, the 2025 Change Blueprint. And this is on massive action. Now, you may not have heard of massive action before. It's something that I learned when I was doing my coach certification. And I believe it stems from the work of Tony Robbins. But we used it at the Life Coach School with Brooke Castillo. And it's an effective concept that can help to move you forward towards what it is you want. Perhaps you've had a dream or a goal that you've thought about for years but never achieved. And of course, you're not alone. And I think that massive action is one of the tools that can really help you to change that and to start moving you forward. Now, massive action means acting consistently and relentlessly until you get what you want, no matter what. It's about removing failure as an option and continuing to move forward despite the challenges, the setbacks, and the doubts that you might have. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's hustle, that there's overwhelm, or that you're burning yourself out and just, I know the term massive, at least for me, conjures up this idea of really something huge and heavy. But In actual fact, it just means that you keep taking action, you keep going forward, and you don't consider failure as an option. And this can be really helpful if you are wanting to write a book or start a business or run a marathon or do something really big, set a really big, impossible goal for yourself. You're going to have the mindset of taking massive action to move yourself forward and to not give up because your brain will want you to give up. Things will get challenging. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, it could be a lot of time. And your brain is going to be like, let's lie on the couch and watch Netflix and eat snacks. And you are going to have to be committed to taking massive action, failing, learning, growing, and continuing to figure it out and move yourself forward. What is massive action? Most of us take small actions, some major actions, or maybe try a few things and then give up and call it a day. But massive action is different because it's a commitment to keep taking action until you achieve your desired result. You are committed to finishing the race. You are committed to writing that book. You are committed to the success and viability of your business. Here's the truth. Many people approach their goals already planning to fail. One of my favorite coaching moments was with a client who asked, how do I know when it's time to give up on this? And what happens is that question revealed the problem. It's that she's anticipating failure before even starting. But massive action doesn't allow for that mindset. You don't stop. You just keep going until you achieve what you want. If you are looking for a job, for instance, you are going to keep taking massive action until you find that job. If that's what you need to do to survive, to get an income or support yourself, then you are going to take massive action until you just get that job. Failure is not an option. So, why does massive action work? And that's because massive action will remove the fear, the doubt, and the second guessing. We can spend a lot of energy and waste a lot of time wondering if we're doing the right thing or what will happen if it doesn't work out. Instead, we're simply not entertaining those ideas. We're not spending time or energy on that. We're just taking the next step and then the next step and then the next. And it also eliminates the mental drama of self-pity or bargaining. You don't get to say, I've done enough. It's the removal of a victim mentality. You either have the result you want, or if you don't, you take more action. Massive action also invites learning. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of the process. When something doesn't work, it's not a problem, it's feedback. You recalibrate, you shift gears, and then you keep moving forward. You just keep going. Now, there is a difference between passive and massive action, and we want to be clear about the two. Because passive action is consuming. And a lot of times we get caught up, and I know I do this too, reading books, researching, planning, thinking that we are doing something to move ourselves forward, but it doesn't create results. Massive action is doing. It's putting yourself out there. It's experimenting, it's feeling, and it's trying again. So if you're trying to get a job, you're sending out CVs, you're applying online, you're attending networking events, you're reaching out to people. If you're writing a book, you're sitting your butt down and you're writing those chapters, you're writing and writing. If it's a marathon, you are out there either on the treadmill or on the road running those miles. You can read about training programs, you can read about diets, you can do all the things that maybe you need to learn to support yourself, but that's not going to get you to the finish line. What's going to get you to the finish line is pounding the pavement and putting in the miles. And the same way, if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to start your own business. You have to actually do the things, do the social media posts, go to the networking events, create the content, and keep working, keep producing some results. Now, both are important, but it's just the passive action won't get you to your goal. But massive action is where the results happen. So, how can you take massive action? The key is, and we're going to go over this, as I said, in the 2025 Change Blueprint workshop on Sunday. But you want to pick one goal. And here, focus and constraint is really important. If it's a big goal like running a marathon or finding a job or losing 100 pounds or starting a business, those are pretty big tasks. So you want to focus your time and energy on creating just that one result. Focus is key. Choose one goal to work on and commit to it. Next, you want to define your results. Make your goals specific and measurable. For example, just don't aim to make more money, but you want to set a goal like earning $100,000 by the end of the year. You want to be as specific as possible. Or it's losing 100 pounds. It could be writing an entire book, or it could be running the marathon in 4.5 hours. Next, you want to embrace failure. Massive action means being willing to fail repeatedly. Failure are lessons that guide you to success. And if you're like me, maybe you're not, but like me, I have a problem with the word failure. To me, it conjures up the F's that you would get in school. And maybe you didn't get F's. I didn't get a lot of F's. Maybe I got a couple. Okay. Anyway, there's always that fear, right? There's always that fear of failing when you go through school. And obviously, we spend our formative years, many years in school. And so that fear of an F is ingrained. Now, granted, I could probably do the work to undo that. But what I wanted to say here is failure can just mean the things didn't go you thought they would, or they didn't go exactly as planned. Failure is not catastrophic. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's just a part of the process. So don't take it personally. Don't make it mean anything about you. Don't make it mean that you shouldn't be doing this and you're doing it all wrong and it's never going to work out. It's just a little bit of feedback. Failure equals feedback. You recalibrate, you learn, you evaluate, you adjust, and then you go again. That's it. Next, you want to decide and do. Don't indulge in overthinking or indecision. Take the actions you've identified and evaluate as you go. And again, in terms of the actions, remember, you don't need to know every single step. You don't need to know exactly how you're going to get there, but you're taking the next right step and the next right step and the next right step. You can have an idea of what you need to do, but you're going to be learning along the way. And so you don't need an exact detailed roadmap that you think you might do. Don't allow that to hold you back. You can figure this out as you go and learn as you go. Now, massive action requires resilience. It takes managing your mind because you're going to be offered a lot of thoughts by the primitive part of your brain. This isn't working. And you're going to have that awareness of what's going on, that this is just a primitive part of your brain offering you some very unhelpful thoughts. And that's all they are. And that's not necessarily true. They're not helpful. They're not serving you. You want to replace them with something that is more empowering. I'll find a way. I'm figuring this out. There's going to be discomfort. There's always going to be discomfort. And it can be messy, and it requires a lot of courage and determination. But it's also one of the most powerful ways to create the life you want. If you have something that you want to create this year, this is the process that you want to go through to move yourself forward and to keep moving yourself forward and to reach that goal, to create that for yourself. Reading about it, scrolling on social media, doing all of those things aren't going to move you forward, but committing to massive action, actually creating results, is what will help to move you forward. And it requires energy, it requires to experience discomfort, but it works. You just keep going and going, really focusing on creating tangible results for yourself. What are the results? Each day in my business, each week in my business, I have the results that I want to create for myself. It's not just fluff. It's not just, I'll sit down and see what I can do. It's very tangible. I know that I am either going to create a podcast episode, I'm going to create an Instagram post, I'm going to write an article, I'm going to create a certain piece of content, I'm going to record a video. Those are very tangible results. And that's the measuring stick that you need to use for yourself and your goal as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Take massive action. Don't get stuck in passive action. Pick a goal for yourself this year. You can change your life in 1 year. Picking a goal like this for yourself and moving forward and not giving up, embracing the failures, embracing the discomfort, and putting in the work, doing the thought work, managing your mind is what moves you forward. If you're interested in learning more, as I said, January 12th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, link is in the show notes to register in advance. Come join us and we'll workshop through this together. So if you're interested in learning more about how we can work together, the link to sign up for a free possibility call is in the show notes. It's a 50-minute one-to-one call with me. We'll identify where you are now and where you want to be. We'll uncover what's holding you back and solve for it. And I will create a personalized plan for you to get unstuck and move yourself forward in 2025. It's a great opportunity to work one-on-one with me. I can't wait to see you there. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this Daring Adventure podcast with your host, Trista Gurton. We hope you enjoyed the tips and conversations on how to get excited about life again. As always, you can head to tristagurton.com for additional resources and to book a one-on-one coaching session. You can also follow Trista on Instagram at Trista V. Gurton. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.